Welcome, everybody. We're here with another episode of Content Crib. Thank you for joining us. And we have a super exciting guest, my current favorite book that I am reading. Today, we're joined by Mark Kempf, author of Unfurl Your Sales, a benefits industry veteran who solves fascinating problems in a fascinating way, turning one of the company's biggest expenses into something employees actually appreciated. But now, Mark is retired from client work and has channeled his expertise into his beautiful book and is proving that traditional industries can build powerful personal brands online. Mark, welcome to Content Crib. Let's start with that tagline of yours.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Great.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Thank you for being here, Mark. Really, we love having you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Tagline about being comfortable on sales.
What if selling was comfortable and personalized? I love that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, selling is stressful, right? Everything's working against you in a way. You're trying to make money, you're trying to close sales, and you're trying to learn all kinds of things, product and clients. And so it's very difficult. And after 20 years, you're still struggling with that stuff. So it is so much better when you can just relax into it and do something that feels normal to you. And that's just having normal conversations with people. They still have to be focused and directed, but doesn't mean they have to be odd or awkward. And I think one of the key things actually is that when you start in sales, people give you scripts. You spend so much time trying to learn the script, you don't see anything else that's going on in the room except what you're supposed to be saying next. So as soon as those scripts are gone and you just deal with some sort of framework of how you want to get places, it gets way more comfortable. And then it becomes your own personal thing, right? Nobody else is going to do it like you. And that means that clients either love you or, maybe they don't love you and you move on. So it's just the best way to have selling done.
You said it best. And obviously you wrote a book, you have a multitude of experience. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to this point?
Yeah. So I was in sales for about over 40 years. Started in the life insurance side of things. And then after about 10 years, really became a group benefit expert. So I never gave up the other side. I always did executive planning. But I just love employee benefits. It's just so interesting and it's so impactful, and people are spending a fortune on it, and it's quite often pretty much wasting it. And so I just love dealing with my clients.
You mentioned in your book that we're all in sales, and I love this line. Unpack that a little bit because not everybody that is a Content Crib listener is in sales or marketing, but we're all selling something, right? Unpack that for us.
Yeah, well, we're all selling ourselves, certainly, in our personal brand to our neighbors and our friends and our workmates. We sell things at the yard sale. We sell things on Kijiji. We're always selling. There is a difference, obviously, between those kinds of selling and the profession of selling, the high performance profession of selling, which I think is very specialized. But one of the challenges sometimes is that as a salesperson, you get called out sometimes. You say something, somebody will call you on it because they recognize that as a sales thing, because everyone has an opinion and has a sense of what selling is. The one thing we are all selling is our personal brand in some way, even if it's completely erroneous to how we are. We're selling our brand. And so I think there's a way to do that best as well. And Chris and Eric, we see all kinds of people doing it wrong, don't we? Here, awkwardly anyway.
At least they're trying, right?
Yeah. They're giving it the old college try, but it looks like they're giving it the old college try is what it looks like. So, who do you think some of the most, or if you were to kind of look out and see the best personal brand experts, and who do you model a lot of things that you do and why you do it?
Right. Well, I'm trying to be very comfortable, obviously. And my personal brand now is just having a presence on LinkedIn, and so people can see the book and get a sense of what it's about. So I follow Chris for quite some time. Chris is very comfortable on there. So I'm glad we connected.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of other guys I really like. Jeff Hatton, Ted Olson, I think does a great job, even though he and I aren't quite the same person. I think he does a really good job on that. And then I like guys that really are, I don't want to say hyper personal because I'm sure they're still holding stuff back. But and Anthony Savalas is really good. There's just so many people I follow that I think do a great job. Yeah. On the author side, I'm a little more sensitive right to it. And some people do it so well, I'm just amazed at how well they do it. Mark Cox is a good example of that.
What do they do that you like?
Well, they talk about the book, but in a way that it's sensible. They're not just swinging the book. They're being helpful. Yeah, and I think that's the key thing. Another guy, Josh Braun, who I don't know if he's really published anything specific, right? He publishes kind of stuff that he almost gives away, but I don't know if he's actually done a book. He does a great job at it too. So what I've tried to do, and honestly, I think I failed at this half the time, which is I like to post something that is really inspiring or insightful or different that would be helpful to people. And then the book is just a tag at the end of that, right? If you want more of this, here's the book. I think that's the best way to do it is just, I wrote the book to be helpful. I think the posts on LinkedIn should be helpful as well. And I think sometimes I've tilted over where I'm just trying to promote the book because I was so excited about the book that I probably went overboard on that. So I apologize to anyone that feels that way.
I'm sure they don't.
No, I mean, I'm loving it right now. I just hit the 200-page mark and really enjoying it. And I want to go back to what you said about how you're posting. And I think it's important because there's two big ways to post on LinkedIn. Well, there's three. Do whatever you want, right? But I think the two big ones are educate and entertain. And
right.
When you say that you're educating things and insightfulness, do you feel like you start to build more of a rapport with people that are following you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I get a lot more feedback. It amazes me how the same 20 people will be following it, right? And commenting or saying something about it. Maybe not commenting. I'm not that hot a property, but it really is interesting when people do start to build. So Chris and I, you reached out to me, we met online, but because we respect each other, right? So you have to spend some time with people and get to know what they're about, especially if all you're seeing is their face sometime, really understanding what that means. And so I just love it. And I love having, half-hour Zooms with people and just getting to know them. It's been a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. I mean, LinkedIn is the platform that really does, linked all of us together over the years and how it's done. And it's amazing that because of personal branding, the rapport you can build and the connection. And actually, where a lot of, I would have never met Chris Gross ever in my life before. I would have never met you, Mark. I would have never met all these people that I now work with. And it's because of the power of LinkedIn, the platform.
Yeah. 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 It's the only one that could possibly be as good as it is. And of course, everyone wants to be better, but in some way, but it still works really well. And we also learn who to trust, right? We learn from comment who to trust, who's actually talking, who's actually saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll also say I posted back and this is how we started to talk more. And I posted back in November. I was going to Chicago last minute and I was looking for some tips. And Mark, you were kind enough to chime in and tag your friends and all these amazing advice on places to go. And I didn't really know you at the time, but I just saw this guy, Mark, with all these certifications after his name. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is,
what do all those mean?
Really taking time at it. But it meant something to me because, you gave me food tips, you gave me who to reach out to. I reached out to the person you told, I forget his name now, but he was very helpful.
Tom Bonnell.
Yeah. And I'm like, but that is the beauty of, the community you can build. And then you never know that kind of relationship who I never thought that we'd be on a podcast together and I'd be reading your book, but here we are and it's fantastic. So I think there's a story there and there's a story for a lot of people and and that's what we do at Content Crib too, right? When we all put these people that are cartoon characters on a screen into a room and start to network and read each other's books or learn each other's business or inspire each other. So it's pretty cool.
It sure is. Yeah. Well, again, I'm appreciative when anyone reads the book and takes it seriously and considers it. So I really appreciate it.
So have you had
Let's
anybody
talk about that.
go ahead? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's talk about the book, Unfurl Your Sales. What does it mean? I know, but tell the people, what does it mean to unfurl? And
So unfurl is kind of a quirky word. It just really is used in two common things. When you unroll a flag, it's called unfurling, or a sail in a sailboat that goes up. And the idea for me is that selling should be very gradual and purposeful and thoughtful and not rushed or pushed and stuff. And that's really, a sale going up is very slow. And when it gets to the top and it's locked in, then that's when it's effective. So that's when the wind gets in it and it fills out and people can not only move places, but also move with direction, right? So I think that's why I just like the idea of unfurl your sales. I like to play on words, but also just the idea of sales being very gradual and progressive and not rushing. So one of the things I say in the book, just an example, is that when you're having a conversation with somebody, perhaps the first discovery meeting, but sometimes it can be a later meeting, and you realize there is no way they're going to buy from me today because they can't. It's usually structural, right? It's not because they don't want what I've got or that I couldn't imagine explaining what I have that would be better for them, but there's some structural reason that's clearly why they can't buy it today. Then you just go to slow mode because you're not going to close the sale. You're not going to ask any closing questions. You're not even going to go near it because you're not there yet. And it may take 2 years to get there if it's a structural problem. And that's just the way it is, but it's good to be able to recognize it. So, and the metaphor I use in the book is a coin spelled Quoin, which everyone else would think looks like a doorstop, but the ancient word is coin. And I compare it to an axe because an actual wedge is axe-shaped. And, an axe is very aggressive, right? And so much of sales and the way people are taught to do sales is very aggressive. It's very axe-like. And sometimes people are taught to sell really well and caringly, but they just can't help themselves, right? They get close to the sale. They need money. Their manager is bugging them. They haven't got their quota. They get very aggressive suddenly. They don't even want to be. They just are. And so the coin principle is just being very gradual and slow, uplifting the sale and, moving toward the sale and really directing people where you want them to go and where they are most helped, but in a path and a speed that works for them.
Yeah, you're very right. I mean, it's you just sometimes, we've all experienced the throw up salesperson. I was in sales management for a lot of years, still am to a degree. And, you sit there with a salesperson doing a presentation and you just feel the uncomfortable, feelings you get when somebody, it's the 30th of the month and they need to get this thing in. And holy mackerel, you can pretty much assure you won't get it in because you have somebody who's, like a golden retriever meeting them approaching the first time,
It's terrible. You guys are probably have seen Kevin Casey on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
He wrote the book.
There's a book right over here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really cool book. And Kevin and I chum a bit and, a bit online. And, it's great. And he's got all the, what you just said there, Eric, about throwing up salespeople and stuff. And that's kind of a Kevin Casey's style. Right? He has the best of the one-liners in the business.
Yeah, he does. And, it's just, I'm chuckling back to all the stories and we all know them. That's why we're all smiling of, being with certain sales. But hey, listen, and I've been that person before. I've been that person just like the nails on the chalkboard. Oh my gosh, why are you saying that? And it's really a lot of that comes from not unfurling. Like you said, it comes from just this, want to get it done and it's got to be, done in the next 36 seconds or else.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Chris has already read it, but there's this one story I put in the book about me doing that, just to give the example, right? That I was terrible at that stuff too. And I always say, if you go for the aggressive sale, there's only 3 outcomes. They either say yes right away, or they say no right away, or they say yes and then say no later, because that's just what you're going to get for it.
Yeah, and it's I don't care, people always talk about relationship sales, and all sales is a relationship. It's just
Yeah.
how it's structured, and I'm sure. Well, what do you think about it? Obviously, you were in the life insurance sales business, which is 100% relationship sales. It's not they walk in the door, and I mean you're obviously orchestrating something for their family long term for the future.
Yeah, and life insurance is a little bit different than the benefit side of things, but certainly you're still trying to make a connection with people. And you might be interested. I've had clients on the group benefit side for over 30 years, and certainly I think 8 or 9 for 20, 25 years. And, it's very long term. I think my clients know me to be very warm, and we're very sentimental toward each other almost, and we're really caring about each other. And yet, I've made a point of not being too personal. So most of them know I've got 2 boys and I'm married. That's probably all they know about me. Like, it's unbelievable how little. So it is very personal, but it doesn't have to be inside baseball either. It just, people just have to recognize the good qualities of another person, trust them, and then want to do work with them. So I find out about them some, but some I'm very close to. Some, again, I could know them for 20 years and I actually don't know the names of their kid. And I'm not trying to, because I'm not trying to prove anything. You know,
I want to touch on trust, because that is such a huge word and so important in life in general, obviously, but also in connecting with people online, connecting with people in the sales process. And one of the processes or techniques that Eric and I talk about every day, and I saw it in the book and it melted my heart, was you mentioning personalized videos. I couldn't believe it when I saw. I should have known, but I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I was so awesome. And we talk about personalized videos and being different and building trust, at the speed of light, and that's a huge tool for us. Do you have any examples of wins when you've utilized personalized videos, or anybody that use it,
right.
has success?
Right. I would say I'm not that great at it generally. I'll tell you the few things that I think work really well though. So during, and by the way, I was the old guy in the office, right? And nobody else was using this stuff. So during COVID, when I wanted to connect with all my group benefit clients, and I had a lot to tell them about COVID and what the insurers were up to and restrictions on travel, all that stuff. I would make a video, and then I would send it to all my clients. And then I started doing it after that. I would have 3 different topics I want to talk about, usually something in the news about public health care, something else, and something else. One of the things I used for prospecting was that if a client I knew had a particular interest in something, like let's say it had to do with payroll and HR and admin when it came to group benefits, then I would put a topic in that was directed exactly to that prospect, this major prospect. So it'd be a topic that'd be good for everybody. But I wanted to send it to my prospects as well. I wanted that prospect to get that as if it was a personal message, but I would frame it within the bigger environment. And then after that, sometimes I would send them a video. So it's funny, I've got this one client, the one I call these my whales, not because they're so big, but because they're the clients or prospects that I really wanted to get as clients. The one prospect whale that I never did get. I sent them a personal video just to talk about one topic. I kept it to a minute. I wanted to make it very specific, just to this one thing that was important to them and something that had progressed that conversation. And when I sent it to them, the HR director sent me back a note and said, "Mark, that was really great. Nice try."
I like,
And that's cool, right? I had no problem with that. So anyway, I think it's really great. Chris, you had mentioned on an earlier podcast, number 3, maybe or 2, that you only ever had one personal video for LinkedIn.
Not from like people, friends, etc. I've only received one sales prospecting video from one rep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I can't believe people are using it all the time. And just a really quick story, because I just was so impressed. we had contacted a car dealership a couple of years ago about a car list for sale. It was just like a 2-year-old car. And we made an appointment with the sales guy when we could be there because it was out of town. And so about 2 hours before the meeting, we get a personal video from him. It's a little tour of the car. He's talking about the car and said, "This is the car you're going to come see. I want to show you the good things about it." It's like, that was just freaking brilliant. That was brilliant, right? I mean, it may have flagged, "Oh, I don't want to bother," or whatever, but that's okay. That'd be his no. But I just thought it was amazing. So I think people should be doing that all the time.
Well,
So easy.
it shows the power of it. You still remember it, and you're articulating exactly what he did.
Yeah.
It left that kind of an image and a memory for you. I mean, that says it all right there.
Absolutely. If I was doing prospecting now, that's what I would be doing.
Yep. And we did not pay Mark to say that.
No. I know there's at least a couple people that have been taught by either Eric or I on personalized videos. So I hope this motivates you to create more, because they do work. When I do send personalized videos, I overbook my calendar if I send too many. And they don't need to be just personalized. They can be saved in a content library that you can just pull. Like, it sounds like, Mark, that's what you did, is you made some videos on certain topics and maybe they didn't have their name in them and you could repurpose it. That's a very important thing that people need to understand, because that's what I do. I have a whole library of things that are half education, half introduction, whatever.
Yeah. By the way, anyone listening to this, I'm terrible at this stuff. So, I'm really terrible at video, and I'm terrible at splicing and dicing and all the fancy stuff. So most of my videos, I put a video on LinkedIn. It's me with my phone, holding it out, pushing start, because I'm only looking through the little lens of the camera, so I can't see myself. I want to get the best, image I can. I'm pressing that button at the bottom, trying to balance it while I talk, and then pushing it again to turn it off so I don't edit a thing. That's what I try to do. Everybody out there listening to this would be better at it than I am. So if I can do it, there's no doubt you can do it too.
Oh, no, that's exactly what we talk to people about is, you're utilizing your phone with a personalized video builds know, like, and trust like no other tool on the planet. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Well, Chris knows how bad I am at it, because I struggle with the sentence.
You do it right behind in your backyard. It's a beautiful setting. And there's one where you're chopping wood. I remember these things. It's hard to, like Eric said, you don't just remember everything in life. You see a video, and especially if it's to you or had a message behind it that was powerful, that stays with people. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. To Eric's point, I wish my videos were more entertainment driven. So Jeff Hatt and I chatted online just a bit, and you're about a month out from publishing a podcast from Tape Date.
Yeah.
So in about a month, folk, if you haven't gone to my website or Jeff Hatton's, please do. There's a video about the book that Jeff Hatton's doing for me.
Oh, no.
What a sweet guy. Honestly, what a hero for me.
That's great. We'll check it out. Well, if people want to check out more of the stuff that you have, Mark, or what you've done, where should they go find that?
Best really is just LinkedIn. So just look up my name. I live in Paris, Ontario, but if you put in Mark Kempf with an F on the end and Canada or Ontario, you'll probably hit me. There's a guy in the insurance business in Upper Michigan or in Michigan with my name, same names. Wow. But anyway, put it in Canada or Ontario, you'll get it. There is a website for Unfurl Your Sales, unfurlyoursales.com. I have absolutely no impact when it comes to Google, so you have to put it right into the bar. And that also gives my email address for the book, Unfurl Your Sales. And my plan, guys, eventually is that people start asking me questions about the book and talk about stuff. And I like to start posting the answers there, maybe doing quick personal video with the answers. And that'd be ideal. And I had just a personal one-on-one with another agent that I know, and before this, and she has some really fantastic questions. So I could just start 3 or 4 from that.
That's great.
Yeah, and the book is fantastic. If you're a sales, marketing, personal development kind of nerd like I am, I really need some more hobbies. No offense to the book. If you read any of the great sales books, and this is in that that echelon of books. I can't recommend it enough. So
That's really high praise. Yeah.
I'm only halfway through. So
Okay.
but that's good. That's where it's going.
Thank you. I was going to mention my brother mentioned he was writing a book, and he said that what he hates about self-help books or sales books or any kind of book like that is that the person in the intro gives the answer to the book and then regurgitates it 28 times for the next 150 pages, I tried very hard not to do that. I'm not saying I was flawless at it, but I tried to keep...
Yeah, you definitely did not do that.
Yeah. Good.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on today, Mark, and thank you. We had an interesting start to it as we tried to figure out what these eerie voices were on the podcast. We still haven't figured that out. I don't know what happened there. That made it interesting. But again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Make sure to go out and get Mark's book, or even better, connect with him on LinkedIn. Mark Kempf, who in Paris, Ontario, and I'm sure he can maybe even send you a signed copy. I don't know. I'm now setting you up for doing this, Mark. Let's say the Content Crib podcast, please hit up Mark and he'll send you a signed copy. Sorry, Mark. Sure, no problem. No problem.
Pleasure, guys. You guys are fantastic. I've enjoyed every one of your podcasts, especially the last one. Just tremendous.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we really enjoyed doing it and enjoyed having you on today.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark.
Take care. Bye-bye.